Let me ask you something. What if I told you that just 1 hour a day, a mere 60 minutes, could completely change the direction of your life? Would you believe me? Most people wouldn't. Why? Because we've all been sold a lie. We've been taught that real transformation requires a miracle. We think success demands 20-hour workdays, a lucky break, or a silver spoon. But I'm here to tell you it doesn't. It starts with 1 hour, just one, an hour of pure intention, an hour of focused discipline, an hour where you finally decide to work on you instead of watching someone else live their life on a screen. See, most people are busy, but very few are growing. They scroll, they rush, they repeat a tired cycle. But they never stop and they never think. And because they don't think, they don't change. But you, if you're still with me, you're different. You're searching, you're ready. Today, we're going to talk about the single hour that can reshape your habits, your income, your relationships, and yes, even your legacy. Because success isn't an accident. It's a daily decision, and the best part, you don't need a new year. You don't need anyone's permission. You just need to begin. Take back the first hour. Let me tell you something powerful. How you start your day determines how you live your life. It's not just a routine, it's a ritual, and that first hour, that's your window, your launchpad, your foundation for everything that follows. Most people just give it away. They wake up, and before their feet even touch the floor, their hand reaches for the phone. They check messages, they check the news, they check what everyone else is doing, but they never check in with themselves. They don't stop to ask, what do I want to create today? Who do I need to become? What am I building? If you don't program your own mind in that first hour, the world will do it for you. And let me warn you, the world doesn't always have your best interests at heart. It will feed you drama, distraction, and noise. Before you know it, you're living in reaction mode, constantly putting out fires instead of designing the life you want. So, here's the challenge. Take back that first hour. Make it yours before the emails, before the scrolling, before the chaos descends. Get up a little earlier, not because it's trendy, but because it's transformational. And use that sacred time to build you. Read 10 pages of a good book. Write down 3 things you're grateful for. Plan your day with intention. Visualize your goals as if they were already real. Move your body. Drink a full glass of water. Sit in silence. Do the things the old you never made time for. Because here's the truth, my friend. If you can win the first hour, you can win the day. And if you win enough days, you win your life. I know what you might be thinking, but I'm not a morning person. Listen, success doesn't care. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. Do you think the winners of this world leap out of bed every morning filled with fireworks and fanfare? No, they decide, they train, they build the habit, and so can you. Starting tomorrow, make a new deal with yourself. Before you touch the world, touch your future. Use that first hour not to consume, but to create. Don't just wake up, rise up. Because your future isn't waiting for you at 11 a.m. It's waiting in the quiet dawn. Seize it, build it strong, and when the day truly begins, you'll already be ahead. Mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. You won't just be prepared, you'll be powerful. And that is how the transformation begins. Guard the hour like treasure now that you've claimed the first hour. The next step is to guard it like treasure. Because, believe me, people will try to steal it, not with a weapon, but with a notification, a quick favor, a meaningless task, a little, hey, can I just? And suddenly your hour is gone, vanished, given away to build their life, not yours. You have to understand this. Your hour is not free time. It's not casual. It's not for leftovers. It is sacred. It is strategic. And if you don't protect it, no one else will. Time is like money, but it's far more precious. You can always earn another dollar, but you can never get back a wasted hour. So, what do? We build a fortress around it. We declare, this is my hour. No calls, no emails, no scrolling, no distractions. Not because we're being rude, but because we are serious about our growth. You have to get serious about your hour. The way a builder is serious about his tools, or a farmer is serious about his soil. Because this hour, used correctly, will pay you back 100-fold in clarity, skill, confidence, and income. But only if you don't trade it for crumbs. Let me say that again, don't trade gold for crumbs. That's what people do when they say, I'll just check this one thing. Or let me reply real quick. They end up spending their best, most potent hour reacting to the world instead of rebuilding their own. So here's the new habit. Every night, schedule your hour for the next day. Label it. Set it in stone. There is no flexibility here, no negotiation. Tell your family, your friends, and even yourself that this is your non-negotiable time to grow, to think, to create. If they don't respect it at first, teach them to, not with anger, but with unwavering consistency. When you begin to value your time, others will begin to value you. The rule is simple. If it doesn't grow you, it doesn't get your hour, period. This isn't just about productivity, it's about priority. It's about declaring, my future matters enough to defend it. And that first hour, that's your front line. Guard it like the rare and precious thing it is. It's the hour that separates the average from the excellent, the wanderer from the leader, the talker from the doer. Guard it today, and you'll be celebrating it tomorrow. Direction before action. It's not enough to take the hour, and it's not enough to guard it. You have to know what to do with it. This is where most people go wrong. They're active, they're busy, they're doing things, lots of things. But are they doing the right things? Action without direction is a recipe for frustration. It's like running on a treadmill. You're sweating, grinding, and putting in the effort. But you're not going anywhere. So, before you jump into your hour, before you open a book or hit play on a video, ask yourself one powerful question. Where am I going? That question unlocks everything. If you don't have a destination, you will never feel a sense of progress. You'll move, but you won't arrive. Direction is the compass. Action is the engine. You need both to reach your destination. Let's get practical. At the start of your hour, take just 3 minutes to get clear. Ask yourself, what is my #1 goal? What is the skill I'm trying to build? What am I hoping to improve today? And most importantly, why does this matter to me? Write it down. Don't just keep it in your head, get it on paper. Clarity on paper becomes focus in action. The great Jim Rohn used to say, reasons come first, answers come second. You have to know your why. Because when you do, the how becomes crystal clear. But let me give you a warning. If you skip this step and jump straight into action, you'll waste your most precious resource, your focus. Even worse, you'll start confusing movement with achievement. You'll feel productive, but you'll stay stuck. This is why direction matters more than speed. It doesn't matter how fast you're going if you're heading the wrong way. So, take the time to aim. Take the time to ask the right questions. Take the time to align your actions with your ultimate vision. A person with clear direction may walk slower, but they will always get further. Tomorrow morning when your hour begins, don't just start doing. Start deciding. Decide who you want to become. Decide what matters most. Decide which single step will bring you closer to the life you've been dreaming of. Direction turns your hour into a mission. And when you live with a mission, you start walking a whole new path. One that is clear, focused, intentional, and leads directly to lasting change. Learn for an hour, grow for a lifetime. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Success doesn't come from just doing. It comes from learning what to do. The moment you stop learning, you stop growing. The good news, learning is simple. It's not about going back to school or enrolling in expensive programs. It's about setting aside one focused hour a day to feed your mind. That hour is your edge. It's your secret weapon. Because while most people are zoning out to nonsense, you're dialing in on growth. While they're drifting, you're developing. Day by day, that commitment to learning will begin to separate you from the crowd. Jim Rohn said it best: formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. So, what do you learn during this hour? You read books, you listen to mentors, you study the stories of success. You dive into biographies, personal development, communication, health, wealth and mindset, the things that truly move the needle in life. The more you learn, the more you see, and the more you see, the better choices you make. Let me be clear, this isn't passive. You're not just scrolling through quotes and hoping something sticks. You are intentional. You pick up the book, the course, or the notebook on purpose and declare, "This is my growth hour." Think about it. An hour a day adds up. In 1 year, that's 365 hours of focused learning. That's more than 9 full-time work weeks invested directly into your own mind. Do that for just 1 year, and you won't even recognize yourself. Your vocabulary will improve. Your confidence will soar. You'll speak with clarity, think with sharpness, and solve problems that used to stop you in your tracks. Why? Because you've been stacking wisdom bit by bit, page by page, lesson by lesson. And the best part? No one can ever take that away from you. Skills can be learned. Confidence can be built. Knowledge multiplies. And it all begins with that one quiet hour. Here's your next step. Pick your learning materials before your hour begins. Don't leave it to chance. Stack 3 books on your desk. Queue up the podcast. Open the online course you've been putting off. And when that hour starts, go deep. Every time you open your mind, you expand your future. The man or woman who learns daily earns continually. Don't skip this. Don't rush this. Make learning a habit, and you will make success a lifestyle. 1 hour of practice beats 10 hours of theory. Let's get something straight. Learning is powerful, but learning without doing is just entertainment. You can read every book, watch every video, and listen to every podcast on the planet. But if you never apply what you've learned, you're not growing. You're just collecting information. Success doesn't come from what you know. It comes from what you practice. Let me repeat that. 1 hour of practice is worth more than 10 hours of theory. Why? Because action is where skill is born. You don't become a great speaker by reading about public speaking. You don't get fit by studying exercise routines. You don't master anything by sitting on the sidelines. You have to step into the arena and do the work. Here's the mistake most people make. They wait until they feel ready. They wait for a surge of confidence. They wait for the perfect moment. But the truth is, confidence doesn't come before the action. Confidence is a result of action. Every time you practice, you get sharper. Every time you try, you get better. Every time you show up, you grow up. So, what does this mean for your dedicated hour? It means that at least part of that hour must be hands-on. If you're learning to write, you must write something, anything. If you're learning to speak, you must practice speaking out loud. If you're learning about business, you must build the plan, make the pitch, or take the call. If you're learning design, you must open the software and create. No more waiting, no more prepping, just doing, because repetition is the mother of all skill. Not perfection, repetition. You don't have to get it right the first time, you just have to get it going. Then you refine it, you improve it, you polish it. That is how professionals are made. Here's something else. When you practice daily, your progress becomes visible. You can feel it. You can measure it. You start to build a deep, unshakable trust in yourself. And that trust, that's the real win. A person who trusts their own effort becomes unstoppable. So here's the challenge. Take what you learned yesterday and apply it today. Even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if it feels awkward, just start. Doing is what turns knowledge into real-world power. 1 hour of bold, focused, imperfect action will do more for your life than a lifetime of just thinking about it. Reflect, refine, repeat. Life doesn't improve just because you keep moving forward. It improves when you stop and look back with purpose. Too many people rush from one day to the next, one task to the next, one goal to the next, without ever pausing to ask the most important question: how did I do today? That's where the real growth lies, not just in the doing, but in the reviewing. Jim Rohn used to say, "A life worth living is a life worth recording." And I'll add to that, a life worth recording is a life that keeps improving. Let's break this down. At the end of your hour, not later, not tomorrow, but right at the end. Take 5 minutes to reflect. What did I learn? What did I accomplish? Where did I struggle? What will I do differently or better tomorrow? It's not complicated. It's just honest. But most people won't do it because it forces them to face their own patterns. It reveals whether they're actually moving forward or just spinning in place. But that's where the power is. Reflection creates clarity. Clarity inspires improvement, and improvement drives results. Once you've reflected, don't stop there. The next step is to refine. What can be tightened? What can be removed? What can be added, upgraded, or simplified? You don't need to overhaul your entire life every week. You just need to make small, intelligent corrections over time. Think of it like this. An airplane is technically off course 90% of the time, but it's constantly making tiny adjustments. And guess what? It still lands exactly where it's supposed to. Why? Because it follows a simple, powerful formula. Reflect, refine, repeat. That is your formula now. Every hour you invest in yourself, reflect on it. Refine your process. Then repeat it tomorrow, just a little bit better. Do that for a week, and you'll notice a shift. Do it for a month, and other people will notice. Do it for a year, and your life will never be the same. Those who learn from experience grow slowly. But those who learn from evaluated experience, they grow fast. They grow strong. They grow wise. Don't just live your life, examine it, shape it, and elevate it. Reflect, refine, repeat. That is how you go from ordinary to exceptional. 1 hour for your health. Let me tell you something that most people in the pursuit of success forget. Your body isn't just a vehicle. It's the engine of your life. If that engine fails, it doesn't matter how big your dreams are, how clear your goals are, or how much money is in your bank account. When your health breaks down, everything else slows to a halt. The mind and body are intrinsically connected. You can't think with clarity when you're exhausted. You can't lead with strength when you feel weak. You can't build an empire when you're burnt out. So, what do? We invest 1 hour a day in the most important machine we will ever own, our body. Now listen, I'm not saying you need to become a bodybuilder or run marathons, but I am saying that you need to move. You need to breathe deeply. You need to stretch. You need to sweat. Because when you honor your health, you elevate your energy. And when your energy rises, your results rise with it. Let me say that again. Energy is the fuel for achievement. Want more focus? Move your body. Want more drive? Break a sweat. Want more peace? Breathe deeply. And the best part? It doesn't take all day. 1 focused hour is all you need. A brisk walk in the morning, a yoga session, lifting some weights, or simply stepping outside to get the sun on your face and fresh air in your lungs. The great Jim Rohn once said, "Take care of your body. It's the only place you have to live." But here's a warning, neglect is quiet at first. A few skipped workouts, a few too many processed meals, A few extra hours slumped in that chair. It doesn't seem like much, but slowly, silently, the body starts breaking down, until one day the bill comes due in the form of a doctor's visit, an energy crash, or a missed opportunity you weren't strong enough to seize. Discipline weighs ounces, regret weighs tons, so take the hour, protect it. Use it to build your physical strength, not just your skills. You can't give your best if you're running on empty. You can't lead others if you can't even lift yourself. And you can't live out your purpose if you're constantly managing pain. Starting today, treat your health like your future depends on it. Because it does. 1 hour a day to walk, to stretch, to fuel your body, and to rest. It's the surest way to keep the doctor away and keep success close by. The quiet hour. Building your fortune, let me tell you something important. Profits are better than wages. A wage makes you a living, but a profit can make you a fortune. And to build that fortune, you don't need 10 hours a day, a big team, or anyone's permission. You just need 1 quiet hour. Most people get home from work and immediately shut down. They tell themselves, I've done enough for today. So they sit, they scroll, they watch TV, and they wonder why nothing ever changes. But that quiet hour, maybe it's right after dinner or right before you go to bed. That is your golden opportunity. It's your space to build something that is truly yours. Not for your boss, not for your paycheck, but for your future. In that single hour, you can start the side business. You can learn the high-income skill. You can write the book. You can plan the investment. You can build the brand. You don't need a fancy office or a perfect setup. You just need a little bit of hunger and 1 hour that you refuse to give away to distraction. Let me be honest. The results won't come in a day. But that's not the goal. The goal is to build momentum. 1 hour a day becomes 5 hours a week, which becomes over 260 hours in a year. That's not a small amount of time. That's massive. That's a product launched. That's a service created. That's a future secured. But it only happens if you treat that hour like treasure. Not as time to waste, but as time to build. You don't create wealth with wishes. You create it with work. Quiet, focused, consistent work when no one is watching. And here's the best part. If you do that for long enough, one day you'll look up and realize something amazing. That little hour has built your confidence. It has built your skills. It has built your income. It has built your independence. And it all started when you made one simple decision. To stop wasting the quiet hours and start using them to build your fortune. 1 hour for a richer life now. Let's talk about something that most success books leave out. Relationships. Because what good is a fortune if you have no one to share it with? What good is a strong body, a sharp mind, or a big bank account if you come home to an empty life? Success without connection is the ultimate failure. You don't build a good life just by building businesses or habits. You build a good life by building up people, and that takes time, it takes care, it takes presence. But here's the good news. Just like you can build wealth with 1 quiet hour, you can build deep, meaningful relationships the exact same way. 1 hour at a time, 1 hour of real, uninterrupted conversation. 1 hour of listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk. 1 hour where you put the phone down, turn the TV off, and truly look someone in the eyes. You see, people rarely remember exactly what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel. And they feel valued when you give them your most precious asset, your time. I'm not asking you to become a therapist or to spend 10 hours a week in deep conversation. I'm simply saying, give one person in your life your full, undivided attention for just 1 hour. Your spouse, your child, your parent, a dear friend. Don't just sit in the same room with them. Be there, ask questions, share stories, laugh, or just sit together in comfortable silence. Because in our distracted world, your pure presence is one of the most powerful gifts you can give. When you do this, something magical happens, trust grows, walls come down, love deepens. It doesn't take a fancy dinner or an expensive trip. It takes 1 hour of your heart with no distractions. The people who know how to build great relationships will always win in the long run. Because when the storms of life hit, and they will come, money won't hold your hand. Your list of achievements won't give you a hug. But the people you've invested in will. So, schedule that hour. Make it as intentional as your hour of learning or your hour of health. Because if you only build things, you'll wake up one day surrounded by accomplishments, but feeling completely alone. A rich life is measured in memories, not just milestones. And those memories are made one precious, present hour at a time. Stack your hours, build your future. You've heard it before. Success is built one step at a time. I'll say it a little differently. Success is built 1 hour at a time. 1 hour of discipline, 1 hour of learning, 1 hour of practice, 1 hour of investing in your mind, your body, and your future. The problem is, most people tragically underestimate what 1 hour a day can actually do. They dismiss it. It's just an hour, they say. What difference can it really make? Let me show you the math. 1 hour a day is 7 hours a week. That's over 360 hours a year. Do you know what that is? That's the equivalent of 9 40-hour work weeks. Now, ask yourself, what could you accomplish with 9 full-time weeks focused only on your personal growth? You could write a book. You could learn a high-value skill. You could build a business from scratch. You could completely transform your health. You could master your mindset and rebuild your life from the ground up. You don't do it all at once in a frantic rush. You do it by stacking the hours, one on top of the other. Each one building on the last, brick by brick, quiet, steady, and strong. That is how a remarkable future is built. Not in a single burst of inspiration, but in the quiet consistency of your daily effort. And here's the secret. Small, daily disciplines don't stay small. They expand, they multiply, they compound and begin to shape the very person you become. Every time you show up for that hour, you are casting a vote for your future self. You're sending a powerful message. I am not wasting my life. I am not waiting for luck. I am building something that matters. That decision, made daily, creates unstoppable momentum. It builds confidence. It delivers results. As you add up the hours, you add up the progress. And as you add up the progress, you start to change your identity. You go from being someone who waits for things to happen to someone who makes things happen. Listen, there will be days when you miss an hour. That's okay. You're human. The key is to not let a missed hour turn into a missed week or a missed month. Always come back. Get back to stacking, because time is passing anyway, and one day the question won't be, did you dream big? It will be, did you use your hours wisely? So stack them, protect them, and one day you'll look up and realize you didn't just change your habits. You changed your entire life. The new you, it all started with just 1 hour. An hour for learning, for building, for reflecting. An hour for your health, for your relationships, for your future. At first, it felt small, almost invisible. It seemed like nothing was happening. But day by day, hour by hour, something profound was taking shape beneath the surface. You were becoming someone new, not overnight and not by accident, but by conscious decision. Here is a truth you can count on. You don't change your life in one giant leap. You change it one consistent hour at a time. It was the hour you showed up when it wasn't easy. The hour you chose growth over comfort. The hour you practiced instead of procrastinated. The hour you listened, you focused, you created. And all those hours, stacked one upon another, did something powerful. They rewired your mind. They reshaped your habits. They rebuilt your confidence from the inside out. 1 hour at a time, you started to believe in yourself again. You began to trust your own word. You proved to yourself that discipline isn't just a word you read in a book. It's a lifestyle you can actually live. And the best part, you didn't have to change everything at once. You just had to change one thing: how you use your time. That was the turning point. Because if you can control 1 hour, you can eventually control your day. And if you can control your day, you can design your future. So this is what I want you to remember. Success is not luck. It is not a mystery. It is not magic. It is discipline applied daily. And that discipline doesn't require everything you've got. It just takes 1 hour every single day, without fail and without excuses. One day soon, you'll look in the mirror and realize you didn't just change your schedule. You changed your identity. You became the kind of person who shows up, who follows through, who lives with intention, who builds with wisdom. That is the new you, and it all came from 1 hour. So keep going, stay consistent, protect the hour and respect the process. Because this was never just about how you spend your time. It's about who you become. Start today, not tomorrow. You've heard it all now. The power of the hour, the habits, the truth. So what's next? I'll tell you. Start today, not tomorrow. Tomorrow is a promise you can't keep. Today is a decision you can make. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Don't wait for the right mood. Don't wait for the new year, or for Monday, or for some perfect imaginary moment that will never arrive. Just start. Pick 1 hour, claim it, schedule it, protect it like your future depends on it. Because it does. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. You don't need all the answers. You just have to be willing to show up. Remember this. Change doesn't happen when you know what to do. Change happens when you do what you know. You have the map. You have the steps. The power is in your hands. So, don't just walk away from this feeling inspired. Walk away activated. Decide right now which hour you will take back. What will you build? Who will you become? If you give 1 hour a day to your growth, your purpose, your health, and your future, I promise you this. 1 year from now, you will be living a life you once only imagined. So start today, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. 1 hour, one decision, one new you. Let that be your story.